First of all, congratulations to Concurrences. 20 years is quite a mark, I'd say. To speak about the evolution in competition law in these 20 years, I tried. It's such a huge field of subjects that I decided just to focus on a couple, maybe three topics which really marked the changes in European competition law. And starting from the very beginning, Regulation 1 2003, which actually, having been adopted in 2003, it was published in 2004 and entered into force in May 2004, which means that the 20 years exactly are celebrated at the end of this month of April, which is quite a coincidence. Well, Regulation 1 2003 changed completely, transformed the European Union competition enforcement. It changed the system of prohibition, so to say, of centralized control, so to say, of the application of competition law. And it was replaced by a new system of ex post enforcement with a main object and purpose of simplifying the work, or making it easier for the Commission, the European Commission, to focus on the most serious restraints, but also to permit a huge integration of member states, authorities, and courts, which from then could apply Articles 101 and 102, which has been extraordinarily important. Now, after this regulation, other things moved in the same sense. ECN Plus directive, which harmonized procedures and rules at member state level, that was extremely important. Several other pieces of legislation have been adopted, but at the same time, which is relevant in this context that I'm trying to highlight. The fact is that there was a major text, which was Directive 2014/104, which aimed at making it easier, or more facilitated the way at national level to bring private damages actions. This movement started of these private damages actions with the recognition by the court as early as 73 or 75 in Berti-Sabam case, and then continue with the Courage case and the Manfredi case. This was a movement which did not stop. Then we have the adoption by the Commission in 2005, I think, of a green paper, then a white paper, and then we have this directive, which then had its way and entered into force in 2018, after all the member states have adopted it. Now, just 2 more minutes. This private enforcement is a long and never-ending story, and it will not end soon. It brings, obviously, an extraordinary force to European competition law, its application by private parties before national courts, but it also brings with it some problems, which are now being seen in the various jurisdictions, and even at European level. For example, the recourse to leniency proceedings became more difficult, because it's easier for private parties to be sued if they get exposed, for example, with leniency application. But it's not only that. I think that the most significant one, which we are feeling at local level with our national courts, is the quantifying of harm derived from the restriction of competition. That is something which which is bringing lots of different decisions at national level. It's not easy. It's a path that has a lot of problems in the way. Probably the Commission did not anticipate the problems that private enforcement would bring, but that will in time will have to be looked at by the Commission, I think. But we'll see. Just to a brief mention to the distinction between, because it's one of the other key aspects in European competition law, distinction between restriction by object and restriction by effect. This exists from the beginnings of the treaty, but I think that initially the intention was twofold, I'd say. One, its concern about expanding, so to say, the conception of competition law and competition restraints, but also a concern of simplifying the work of the authorities. But these twofold, I'd say, underlying ideas, I think they have also been present all over these years. And now it's still a discussion. There is still a discussion between restriction by object and restriction by effect. As early as end of last year, we had a case, for example, and the courts, notably the European courts, have been using and discussing this restriction by object concept. A lot have been said by the case law. The last one, one of the most significant in the recent past, was the Superboc case, which applied the concept in the context of vertical arrangements or vertical agreements, which is with some nuances which are interesting to look at. One last word about, I'm not going to talk about digital markets, but it's a major change in European competition law as such. It brings so many other issues that have to be dealt with, and we have the adoption by the Commission of the regulation on digital markets, which also has to do with a sort of answer to the complication that became the application of competition law. It is in a way, in this new world of digital markets, tries to bring some fresh concepts, which also were taken into account in the revision of the notice on market definition. Well, a lot could be said. I'll just have to stop now. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you and congratulations.